Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to day 2 of our NLP experience. So let me just see who jumps on. I have got my phone tonight, so I'm going to make sure that we are in the right group. I will just check. Oh, there we are. Yes, we are in the right group. So let me know who is here this evening. I know that a few of you said you were going to have to catch up on replay because you weren't available at 7 o'clock. So that's fine. Let me know if you are here in person now, in live time, real time, live time, in real time. So do say hi in the comments. Click on the StreamYard link so that I can see who you are. I can actually look on my phone. So I'm going to, because I can't see your name on here, but I can on my phone. So let me just bring that up. Okay. I'll bring it up in that group actually, because I'm streaming it in both groups. I'm streaming it in my leadership and coaching one and my women's group as well. So let me know if you're here, and if you do watch it on replay, also let me know if you watch it on replay. And of course, if you've got any questions that you would like to ask, then I would love to give you my thoughts. So last night, I haven't changed the title. We're not on day 1, we're on day 2. So last night I was talking about, as it says there, NLP for personal development. And tonight I'm going to be talking about leadership and NLP for business. So if you run your own business, and no matter what I talk about, whether it be leadership, business, like it is tonight, coaching tomorrow, it all starts with ourselves. It all starts with you. It all starts with how you present yourself in the world. It starts with how you think about things. It starts with your attitude of mind and your way of being in the world. So that's one of the fundamental things about NLP, which is what I was talking about last night, is that no matter what is going on in your life, whether it is you want to develop your leadership skills, you want to develop your coaching skills, you want to, be a better parent, you want to be a better spouse, whatever it is that's going on in your life, it all starts with us, how we show up in the world, what we believe, what you believe about yourself, how you feel about yourself, and then ultimately how you show up in the world. To express yourself in your unique way, because we are all unique. So I talked a lot about that last night. I talked a lot about how NLP can support you in being your best, in being your most truest self, in bringing your best self to every single day. And tonight we're going to move on to talk a little bit about how NLP can support you with your leadership skills. And I'm going to talk about leadership, not just about leadership from a business perspective, leading yourself in a business or leading other people in an organization. I'm going to talk about it in a bit of a different way as well, because actually we're all leaders in life. And then, like I say, tomorrow is going to be about coaching. So let me put on today, and what I've done is I actually decided just to add it all together, just so that I can have all the slides together. So let's move on to talk about NLP for leadership and business. Actually, that's quite small, so I don't know whether you can actually see that. So I'm going to just bring it a little bit closer to me, and I will tell you what it says on my slide. So let me know if you're here. It just says, it says Facebook user. Let me see if I can see who that is. It might be in the other group. So which group are you in? And it's Catherine. Hello, Catherine. For some reason on my MacBook, it says Facebook user, but when I look on my phone, it tells me who it is. So I don't know why that is. So there are a few more people joining us now. I know that sometimes when I go live on StreamYard, for some weird reason, it can take people a little while to find me. So I can see that there are more people now coming in, which is fabulous. So welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2. You haven't missed much yet. I've not yet got started. I was just doing a little bit of overview of last night. So let's start with this evening's session. After this session, I have also got Hayley coming live to talk about her experience of training with me in NLP. And she's going to be telling you some exciting news about what she's got coming up. in her coaching business. So let's talk first of all about leading yourself, because like I said last night, NLP is as much about leading yourself as it is about leading others. And it's about having that attitude of mind and that way of being that is full of curiosity, because NLP isn't just about the technique. So this, I think, sometimes is where people not misunderstand NLP, but maybe they have a maybe depending on how you kind of heard about NLP or what you've read about NLP, some people think it's just about the techniques that you learn when you come on an NLP course, and it isn't. I thought that, yeah, I know, sorry, it goes a bit funny on the StreamYard thing. I've just seen that comment. A few more people might jump in. So it's not just about the techniques that you learn for kind of personal change. It's also about a way of being. It's having an attitude of mind that's curious. So, what we say in NLP is that it's really important that you have that mindset of curiosity for other people, because everybody is experiencing the world in their way. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We all have our own values and our own beliefs. We all have our own ways of thinking about things. We all have our own ways of doing things. And, it can be easy sometimes to judge people or to make assumptions. Oh, they've got a face on them, so they must be moody, or they must be in a bad mood, or, they're late, so they don't care, or they're late, so they're not bothered, or they're lazy because they're not doing what I've asked them to do. What we naturally do as human beings is kind of judge people's behavior, or we make assumptions about people. Well, when you learn NLP, you kind of remove all of that, because NLP is very much about what we call having a state of not knowing. And we see, people, we see ourselves and we see other people as this kind of blank slate almost, of having, so that we can have this mindset of curiosity and really deeply get curious about other people, rather than judging, rather than assuming, rather than thinking that they must be lazy or unmotivated or not bothered because we've made a judgment about their behavior. So in NLP, you learn lots about how you can have this mindset. So it's also about an attitude of having empathy and acceptance for people. Because again, it can be, as human beings, we can fall into that trap of just assuming things, of being perhaps unaccepting of ourselves and others. We can be judgmental of ourselves. We can be critical of ourselves, as we can also be critical and judgmental of others. So NLP is very much about having an attitude, a way of being in the world that is one of empathy, seeking to understand rather than be understood. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And accepting ourselves and accepting other people. Because actually, when we live life like that, then life is a much better place to be for ourselves and for the people in our lives. We're all on a journey of learning. We're all on a journey of discovery. We're all on a journey of growth. And I did talk about this a little bit last night. So another thing that we say in NLP as well, that it's, if you want to be successful in life, if you want to, do what you want to do, achieve your outcomes, NLP is very much about being outcome focused and getting to where you want to be. If you want that to happen, then it's really important that you are open to learning and feedback, because actually, if we're not open to feedback, then we stay stuck. We stay doing what we've always done. We stay limited. So it's important that we are open to feedback so that we can continually learn, we can continually grow. We are prepared to, take feedback and keep learning more about ourselves, because there is always more to discover about ourselves. So when I'm talking about leadership, first of all, I'm talking about leadership for yourself, leading your own life. And one of the fundamental skills of leadership for yourself, leading yourself, is to have that self-awareness, to know what's important to you in your life, what drives you, what gets you up in the morning, what lights you up, what sets your heart alight and brings you alive, what brings your spirit alive. it's so interesting when I coach people and when I talk to people, how many people have no idea what brings them alive, what lights them up, what makes them feel inspired and motivated. Many people are kind of living life in that sort of trance of just eat, sleep, repeat, a bit like what I talked about last night. So what's important to you, what drives you, what motivates you, what gets you up in the morning, what are you here to do, what's your purpose, what's your mission, how do you overcome your challenges, how do you deal with setbacks, because we all have them, and how do you keep going when times are tough. And NLP teaches you how to do all this. It teaches you to, or it shows you how to get aligned with your values, how to really connect with your heart and your values and what's important to you, and how to live your life aligned with that so that you do feel every day motivated and inspired. You do jump out of bed in the morning feeling bring on the day, not, ugh, here we go again. It's also about recognizing your high potential state. So NLP, like I said yesterday, is about personal excellence. So it's about capturing those moments when you're in those high potential states. I said a little bit yesterday about how do you know you're in joy? How do you know you're in motivation? How do you know you're in excitement? How do you know you're in curiosity? And those high potential states is, what we say in NLP, those high potential states help us to be more energized. They help us to feel more motivated towards things. They help us to keep going when times are tough. So how do you know that you're in a high potential state? What do you feel? What do you think? What is going on inside of you when you're in those high potential states? And then you capture the essence of them, and then you can do it more. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. So I'm talking here about leading yourself. And in order to lead yourself, you've got to have that self-awareness of when you're in the states that you want. So if I want to be more joy, if I want to have more joy, how do I know I'm in more joy? What lets me know? And I capture that so that then when I'm feeling a bit blur and a bit like, demotivated, I can capture the essence of my joy and bring it into the here and now. This is self-leadership. This is you recognizing when you're in those states so that you can do it more often. So it's about recognizing your high potential states and continuing your own learning journey and your own personal development and personal growth. I have been now in the field of personal development for, I think I said yesterday, 20 years, probably a little bit longer, since I sort of started my sort of psychology degree was 1996 to 1999. And I was always curious about it. I've continued learning and growing. I buy books. I have a coach myself. I go on courses. I'm on a course this weekend while I'm at the NLP conference. So I'm constantly investing. And in fact, where was I reading the other day about it? I think it was Bob Proctor was saying that where people's values are, what's in their calendar and what are they spending their money on. So in my calendar is a lot of personal development things, a lot of meetings with people so I can have great conversations. And I also spend my money and invest in my own personal development, in my own coaching. So yeah, really interesting. Look at your calendar, look at your diary, look at where you spend your money. I think it's where you spend your time, your money, and your energy. That is what is important to you. So if you want to lead yourself more successfully, then invest in yourself, invest in your growth, and keep learning. Because nothing stays still, nothing stays the same. So NLP is very much as well about modeling the excellence. So a fundamental principle is about how you act in the world. Lots of people say they want to change. Lots of people say they want something different in their life, but yet they don't have the discipline to take action. They don't have the discipline to create those new habits that enable them to have what they want in their life. Lots of people say they want to have maybe a different job, maybe a job that they love, and yet they wake up every day going to a job that they hate. Lots of people say that they want health and fitness, and yet they are in really bad, unhealthy habits and ways of living and blah, blah, blah. So again, with NLP, it's not just about how we think and feel, it's about the actions that we take to express what we say we want. And if we don't take the action, then nothing will change. So self-leadership is about having that discipline. It's about making decisions in your life and being courageous enough to actually go out there in the world and do it so that you create the life that you want. So it just sort of says here, modeling excellence. And a fundamental principle of NLP is modeling. So, modeling, learning from others, learning from ourselves. How do you take yourself out into the world? How do you behave? How do you demonstrate your values? How do you do you in the world? And we talk in NLP about the knowledge. There's no point in just sitting on the no ledge, the knowledge, the no ledge. You've got to get out there in the world and express it and do it. So again, in NLP, we talk about where there is excellence, there is always a willingness to learn continually and get feedback. So, excellent people, NLP modeled people who were excellent in their field. So, the original workings, the original sort of findings in NLP were that they modeled three very famous therapists. So, it was a family therapist, a hypnotherapist, Milton Erickson, and a Gestalt therapist. And what they did was they teased out the essence of how these people were excellent in their field. And then NLP was developed and then it was taught to others. So NLP is very much about what works. And any of us can learn it and then we can apply it to our own life and then go and do it in our life. So, and in order to do this, it's important that we lead ourselves from a place of continual growth and development. And I want to sort of say here, because I think this is really important, and this is kind of my values when teaching personal development. Yes, it is about learning. Yes, it is about growing. Yes, it is about evolving. And you're enough already. So I think sometimes it can feel that we're not enough already because we're always striving for this next best us. Actually, yes, evolve and grow and develop. That's what we're here to do. And do it from a place of already feeling whole, already feeling good enough, and already knowing that you are enough. I think that's really, really important. And then I said there about how do you demonstrate personal resilience and manage yourself every single day. So when I'm talking about leadership, yes, I'm talking about leading others in whatever capacity that is that you do that in your life. But actually, it's got to start with leading yourself successfully. And leading yourself successfully means that you invest in your own growth and development. You invest in your own learning. That could be, like I say, reading a book. It could be listening to podcasts. I was on my way to Preston today. I delivered a presentation in one of the networking meetings that I'm on and that I'm in, and the sort of journey was like an hour. So I thought, great, time to listen to a podcast. So I got on Bob Proctor. I listened to a bit of music as well because that kind of gives me the vibe. So I listened to some music. I listened to actually somebody a Facebook group that I'm in. I caught up with something that they're doing, and I listened to 2 episodes of Bob Proctor as well. So there's always opportunities for us to be learning, listening, and growing. So that was my journey to Preston this morning. So, how do you demonstrate your personal resilience and manage yourself every single day? And this is what NLP teaches you. So, like I say, not just the techniques, it's also about an attitude of mind. It's about a way of being in the world. It's about who you are and how you show up in the world. So, that's kind of leadership for self, very, very, very briefly. And then let's talk about leading others and how NLP can support you in leading others successfully. So I'm kind of going to do this in a real broad sense. I'm just checking that nobody else has commented because for some reason I can't actually see on there. What happened there then? Oh no, it's okay. There's only 3 comments. So you could be a leader in any sort of area of your life. It might be that you're a leader at work, that you are a manager, or that you lead a team of people. It might be that you are a parent, so therefore you lead your children. You might be a football coach or some kind of coach. I'm just saying that because somebody on my course at the moment is a football coach. You might be an educator. I was an educator in the sort of education sense. I'm still an educator now, but an educator in schools and further education for 18 years. You might be a trainer, you might be a facilitator, you might be a mentor for people. So we are all every single day leading people, whether we realize it or not. So let's have a sort of talk today about how NLP can really support you in leading other people successfully. So it's about influencing, inspiring, and motivating others towards a goal. And one of my beliefs, one of my ways of being in the world, and kind of the intention that I set every single day for myself, is that I want to show up in the world, and no matter what conversations I have with people, no matter who I meet, no matter what I'm doing, I want to leave people feeling better than perhaps where they were when before they had a conversation with me. Now, I don't know how people are feeling because I'm not a mind reader. I don't know where people are at unless they tell me. But my kind of way of being in the world and my belief and my values are around showing up and sharing what I can with people in any way I can, leading others to support them in feeling better. So that might be something that I say that might be that might resonate with them, that might land with them, that they can take away and use it in their life. So influencing, inspiring, and motivating others towards a goal. And when we lead others successfully, it's about creating a world to which people want to belong. And if you heard my little story yesterday about the 14-year-old me who was walking through my local town and got stopped by the Gazette, the thing I said was, when they asked me at the end what I wanted, it was world peace. And actually, as a grown-up me, as an adult doing the work I do, it's about creating that world where everybody belongs, everybody's included, and everybody feels that they are important. Everybody has a place in it. So for me, this is what leadership is all about, whether that is, like I say, a leader in a specific role like work, or just generally every single day leading as a parent, leading as a mentor, whatever it is that you are leading in. So let's talk a little bit about, and I could have gone on forever about this. So I've kind of pulled out a few things that I feel are kind of some of the golden nuggets of NLP when we're talking about leading others. So one of the things that we say is about being an empty vessel, because you've probably all been given advice by people, advice that is from their map of the world, that makes sense to them because they think it's right, but it isn't necessarily right for you. But that's what we do as human beings. We kind of tell people what we think they should do based on our map of the world, our experience, our thoughts, our feelings, because that's what we would do. NLP is very much about being an empty vessel and being open to seeking to understand other people rather than jumping in with our own thoughts. So they say, don't they, with communication, that most of us in communication are waiting to respond with our thoughts, with our point of view, with our story. Oh yeah, that happened to me, or oh yeah, this is what happened, or yeah, this is what I did. When actually what that does is that's a real barrier to really deeply listening to somebody and really deeply hearing what somebody is saying. So NLP teaches you to be an empty vessel. So tonight I'm going to focus more on the sort of communication and language side of NLP to support you in being an excellent and exquisite leader. So you learn in NLP models of communication and human behavior that explain basically how we all filter and experience the world differently. So when you're an empty vessel, what that allows you to do is be open to really hearing, noticing, listening, observing somebody else so that you can deeply understand what is actually going on for them. Because every single one of us has what we call in NLP a unique model of the world. And our model of the world has been developed over our life through our past experiences, what's happened to us in the past. It's been shaped by our beliefs, by our values, by by our memories, by the decisions that we've made, and by the culture that we belong to. And all of these things, shape who we are. And every single one of us is different. We've all got a different experience. We've all got a different upbringing. We've all got different things that have happened to us. We've all got different things that are important to us. No one person is the same. I remember last year before last, when my brother was diagnosed with cancer, we were talking about our childhood. We didn't think he had long to live, and anyway, he's still here and all is good. So it's not a sad story. But we were spending a lot of time together and talking about our childhood. And it was so interesting hearing each other's perspectives and points of view and memories and experiences. Because at one time I said, did we actually, have the same parents and belong in the same family? Because our experiences were so different. So my dad was severely depressed, and my brother remembered his kind of unpredictability, and my brother did suffer with quite bad anxiety. And he remembers kind of coming home and not knowing what kind of mood my dad was going to be in, and whether he was going to be unpredictable, whether he was going to be able to have a conversation with him, or whether he had to be quiet because my dad was needing to be quiet because he had a headache or he didn't want to talk to anybody. And there's 4 years difference between us, and I didn't kind of remember that stuff. There were some things I remembered that were different to him, but not in the same way that he remembered it. So we were from the same family, we had the same parents, the same upbringing, but our experiences of that, how we felt about it, how that impacted our adult life was completely different. And I 100% believe that if I hadn't have been on the personal development journey that I've been on, all the work that I've done, all the internal work that I've done, and all the, upgrading my identity and my beliefs, I genuinely feel I'd be a very different 48-year-old than what I am now if I hadn't done all the stuff that I'd done over the years. So we've all got this unique model of the world. We all make sense of our experience in a different way. Even if, like I say, you have siblings like me, it doesn't mean to say that you experience your upbringing in the same way. So when we are leading other people, sometimes people do things and we think, what planet are they on? That just doesn't make sense. But it makes total sense to them. And part of being a really good leader is to be able to, like I said before, go into that mindset of acceptance, curiosity, understanding, empathy, be able to say what must be true for that person for them to be behaving in that way, or for them to be perceiving that situation in that way. Because just because you perceive it in one way doesn't mean to say that somebody else is going to perceive it in the same way and understand it in the same way as well. So to lead successfully, it really requires you to have that ability to, what we say in NLP is to meet someone where they are in their map of the world. Meet somebody in their thoughts, in their feelings, in their behaviors. And we talk about kind of walking beside them so that you can pace their experience, you can pace where they are, you can really seek to understand what makes sense to that person, even though it might not make sense to you, because it makes sense to them. And we seek to understand rather than be understood. And that's a really key skill. And like I said, as human beings, our natural thing is to say, oh yeah, that happened to me, or you should do this, or you should do that. But actually, leadership is about what must be true for that person, what is going on for them, what is their map of the world, and really being that empty vessel and be open to curiosity, be open to learning. And that, I say often when I'm coaching people, the coaching is a mutual relationship of trust, of honesty, of respect, of learning. I learn something from every single client, from every single person I train in NLP, from every single client I have. I am always learning, and they're always teaching me something. So leadership is about being willing to learn from others as much as teaching other people things as well. So this actually requires from us a high level of sensory acuity. This is what we say in NLP, sensory awareness of somebody else, being able to notice signals from the other people, from the other person, that lets you know what's going on for them. And in NLP, what you learn all of this. You learn how to communicate successfully with people. You learn how to track people's internal signals that might let you know how they're feeling and what they're thinking. And no, you're not a mind reader, but you learn some very clever skills of communication to really tune in to people on a deep, unconscious level. So let me just ask you a question. Have you ever been in a room with somebody and maybe you've not even kind of met them before or haven't known them, and you walk into the room, or even watch somebody on Zoom, like they on, on Facebook Live, or maybe you're on a Zoom with people, and you just immediately feel connected with them. You feel that they have good energy, they feel good to be around, and you feel that you can kind of trust them, and that they are, that they are a really nice person to be around. So you probably all experienced that. And you've probably also experienced times where you haven't felt like that with people, where you've kind of gone into a room with someone and you thought, oh, I'm not sure about their energy, and I'm not sure that I kind of vibe with them. I'm not sure that I want to have that conversation. Yes, he said yes. Let me have a look. I can't see on the thingy, so it's just says Facebook user again. So yes. So yeah, you've all experienced that. And this is really interesting because there's scientific evidence now to prove that your heart energy, because we've got different brains, you don't learn so much this in NLP, I teach you this in MBIT. Oh, it's Catherine. Hi, Catherine. But your heart energy is the biggest electromagnetic field in your body, and it can be felt up to several feet away. So if you are radiating positive energy, if you are full of gratitude, joy, love, compassion, generosity, kindness, if your heart energy is filled with all that, then other people can feel that unconsciously. And it's actually your gut brain that senses that information from your environment. Is it safe? Is it not safe? Do I want to be with this person? Do I not want to be with that person? So talking a bit about MBIT here rather than NLP, but actually it is all relevant to NLP as well. So this is our unconscious communication, that we are all energy. And that energy can be felt by other people. So in NLP, you learn how to get instant rapport with people by using your energy in a really positive way. You learn how to use your unconscious body, your unconscious body signals, to get rapport with people, so that they trust you, so that they want to be inspired, so that so you can capture the hearts and minds of people. Because if you don't capture people's hearts and minds, then they'll just switch off. So it's about understanding how you do that, learning how to get instant rapport with people on an unconscious level and an unconscious level. So great leaders know how to do this. They know how to inspire the hearts and minds of people. They know how to use language that influences people. So in NLP, you learn how to use language in a really powerful way, how to get rapport with people through using language that is the same as them. And this is where, you might have had conversations with people where you've just kind of not, you feel that they've misunderstood you, or you've misunderstood them, or you might even be agreeing on something, but yet it doesn't feel like you are. And there's reasons for this, and you learn all this in NLP by understanding how the language that you use can either turn people on, or it can switch people off. So it's really, really magical when you know how to get deep rapport with people and communicate with people on a deep level. So in NLP, you learn how to get instant rapport, you learn how to match people's body language, how to get rapport at an unconscious level, how to use your energy to inspire and motivate people. You also learn how to track somebody's internal state and observe them, so that you can notice when people are changing. So for example, you can notice when people are interested or when they're not interested. You can notice when they understand you or when they don't understand you. Again, you probably all know people in your life who just haven't got those skills. They don't seem to be able to realize when people are not interested, and they carry on and carry on and carry on. So NLP teaches you how to recognize when people are interested, when you've captured somebody, when you're inspiring and motivating them, so that they're with you. And because leadership is about leading somebody towards a goal, pacing and leading them towards that goal. And it might be a shared vision, it might be a shared goal, or it might be supporting them in leading them towards their goal. So rapport is fundamental, and rapport is about having that harmonious relationship with somebody else. And rapport enables that relationship of trust and openness and a willingness to communicate openly and feel respected and feel connected with somebody else. And this is what we want as human beings. We want to feel connected. We want to feel that people understand us. We want to feel that people get us. If we don't, then we don't have rapport and we're not going to be very good leaders. So again, it's about meeting somebody where they are at. So NLP teaches you all of this. It teaches you the language of communication, the behavior of communication, teaches you how to get deep rapport, to have that openness and that trust and that willingness to learn from others and for others to learn from you as well. So this is kind of a bit about the language of NLP now as well. How do you use language to inspire and motivate people? So there's different frames that we talk about in NLP, and one of the frames is the outcome frame. And you'll all know people in your life who get stuck in problems. I call them the BMWs, the bitch, moan and whingers. They like to whinge, they like to moan, they like to be stuck in the problem. And it doesn't matter if you offer a solution or you say, well, how about this or how about that? No, they just want to be stuck in the problem. And unfortunately, when we get stuck in the problem, it can feel really limiting. And this is when people feel really stuck. And, in NLP, we talk about all behavior has a positive intention. So there's always a reason why people stay stuck. And again, in NLP, you learn about how you explore that. So there's the outcome frame. We use language to inspire by helping people to really get clear on and get a picture of and get a sense of what it is that they want in life rather than what they don't want. So we can use language to imagine those possibilities. So we use the what if frame. Imagine if tomorrow you woke up and you were being the person you wanted to be, you were feeling the way you wanted to feel, you were enjoying life in just the way that you want to enjoy it. What would be different? What would you be doing? How would you be feeling? How would you be showing up in the world differently? So we can begin to open up those possibilities and that thinking that goes, actually, yeah, do you know what? I'd be doing this. I'd be getting up and I'd be going for a walk and I'd be talking to my husband a bit nicer. I'd be not yelling at the kids to drag them out of bed in the morning. In my house, it's not yelling at the dog because he's like, woof, woof, woof in the morning. So what you can start to have this mindset of being open to possibilities, imagining what life could be like, imagining that what you would like life to be, and then you can start becoming that. You can start realizing that actually you can have that by being it. So we talk in NLP about the outcome frame. What do you want to have happen? What would you like instead? If you don't want that, what do you want instead? Where do you want to move towards? What do you want to move away from? And where do you want to go towards? And if you had it, what would that be like? What would happen in your life? What would improve? What would be the benefits? And start to imagine that right now. So language can really inspire and motivate, or it can really uninspire and demotivate us. So we use language in NLP as in a very positive way to open up choice, open up possibilities, help us to move towards where we want to go. So you learn the two language models of NLP, which are the meta model and the Milton model. And I'm going to be talking more about those tomorrow when I talk about coaching with NLP, because the meta model helps us to kind of get clarity and understand what actually we really mean. Somebody might say something like, oh, I'm stressed. Well, stress to me is going to mean something really different to stressed to somebody else. So when somebody says that they are stressed, what we do is on the inside is we create a internal representation of what we mean by stress. We get feelings of what we feel when we're stressed. That doesn't mean that the other person is doing it the same way. So the meta model helps us to clarify meaning and understand what somebody means about what they're saying. So what do you mean by stressed? How do you feel when you're stressed? What are you doing when you're stressed? What is going on for you when you're stressed? So the meta model is what we use as well in sort of coaching. with NLP to help people to really dig deep, because language is just the surface structure. It's just what we say. Actually, what's behind the language, it's more about what people don't say than what they do say. In NLP, we're always curious about what are people not saying? What is their body language saying that actually their verbal words aren't saying? So you get to be like a bit of a detective as an NLP person. And then there's the Milton model as well, which is a beautiful another language model. So you learn these language models to inspire, to motivate, to lead, to gain rapport, to support yourself and others in moving towards their goals and their outcomes, and fundamentally living a life where they are fulfilled and happy. And who doesn't want that? So that's the language. So that's a little bit about how NLP supports leadership. So there's kind of just to sort of go over kind of what I've said there. It's about, first of all, leading yourself. Then it's about being open to possibility, being open to curiosity, being in that empty vessel of really listening and paying attention and observing somebody else, not jumping to conclusions and assumptions and judgments, being curious about what is going on for another person. It's about being that person who creates those conditions for communication to develop, for people to feel safe with you so that they can communicate, so that they can feel that they trust you and are, that they want to be led by you. Like I say, that might be as a parent, it might be as a mentor, it might be as an educator. And then the last little bit of this evening was really just about NLP for business success. So if you run your own business, so I remember when I left my teaching job and I'd been, employed for a long time, and I'd always had a part-time business. I'd always had a sort of therapeutic business that I did on the side of my teaching. So I knew a little bit about what it was like being in business, but not really, because I had a nice wage coming in every month. I didn't have to worry about where my money was going to come from. I didn't have to worry about building a business. I was quite happy and content with where I was. And then when I left that security and I became a self-employed, it was a very different matter. Suddenly, all of this stuff just emerged, this self-doubt, this fear, this stress, this overwhelm, this lacking in confidence. Oh my God, can I do this? I thought I kind of knew my stuff, but maybe I don't. Comparing myself to others and looking at other NLP people and thinking, oh my God, they do it way better than me. I'm never going to be able to do that. And organization skills, motivating yourself to get things done, having those limiting beliefs about yourself. I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm not good enough at this. And also being able to set goals and know how to be persistent and disciplined to keep going and getting there. Actually, when I set up my business, I thought I knew how to run a business. I actually did not have a clue, and I'm still learning a lot. 4 years on, 5 years on, even actually. I really, really, really didn't have a clue. I didn't realize that all of this stuff within me was going to emerge and kind of cripple me, and that's how it felt anyway at the time. So, how I see NLP is very much about having a business mentor in my back pocket so that I can pull it out at any point, anytime I need it, to help me if I am having a wobble, if I have gone into that negative Nelly, that critical critter that goes, you can't do this, you can't do that, who's going to be able to do this, and you're not going to be able to do that. If I've got any doubt or fear or anything running inside of me that isn't helpful, if I find myself getting distracted, oh, squirrel, there we go. Oh, Sarah, you need to be doing this today. I know, but I've got a bit distracted by the sun. I want to go for a walk. So I see NLP very much as being my kind of business mentor in my back pocket. And here's some examples of how I personally have used NLP for my business. And oh, that's my daughter. Let me just decline. Now I need to come back to Facebook. Where is it? There we go. So, how I've used NLP personally, and when I'm coaching other people in business, how I support them. And in fact, I had a gentleman recently who came for me for some very personal stuff. He didn't actually come for me for his business. And ultimately, what ended up happening in the first, we sort of had sessions over 3 months. And in those 3 months that he was seeing me, he earned the same income in 3 months than he had done in the previous year. He was like going out to networking meetings, meeting people, giving loads of presentations, and really owning his space in his business, in his industry. And he hadn't even come for that, but because he'd worked on his confidence and all the other things that were limiting him, it played out in his business. So I've coached lots and lots and lots of people in business. And from the stuff that I do with people in business is mainly around developing themselves. So, first of all, it's about having that mindset, reframing things. So, reframing your failures as opportunities to grow. So, over the 5 years of being in business, I've made some decisions and I've thought, oh, that probably wasn't a great decision. But actually, at the time, it was the best decision I could make with the information I had. So, as I've gone on, I've taken the learnings, taken the things that I can use to grow so that then I make different decisions in the future, or I do things differently in the future. So it's about looking at those failures. And actually, in NLP terms, we say there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. It's taking those experiences, because it's all experiences, as an opportunity to grow and develop and evolve and learn as you go forwards. If you're somebody who just falls into that, I'm a failure and it's going to go wrong, and just because one thing goes wrong, I saw somebody comment on something today actually about they were doing a visibility challenge, and it was in one of the groups I'm in, and they'd commented, what am I doing wrong? I've been doing this for 4 days and nobody's interacting. I thought, geez, I've been doing this for 4 years. And still it's like, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because actually, if you're in business, it's about the long game. It's not a short game thing. You've got to be willing to be persistent, to be visible, to show up, to be out there, sharing with people what you love, telling them how you can help them, like I'm doing here, and being passionate about what you do. And because actually nobody else gives a hoot about your business. And I remember talking to one of my supervisors years ago, and the lady who trained me as a psychotherapist back in 2001, and we were talking about it. And I remember her saying to me, nobody cares about your business. It's up to you to get out there and tell people about your business, tell people how you can help them, what you can do. It's about coming from a place of service, selling from a place of service. So it's about reframing those failures, reframing those things that haven't gone as you wanted, having that mindset to be persistent, to be consistent, and to be determined, and to be disciplined with it as well. So also, NLP teaches you how to have that mindset that there's always a solution. One of the presuppositions, one of the beliefs of excellence of NLP, there's about 14 of them. One of them is that there's always a solution. There's always another way to achieve your outcome. So we teach very much the outcome frame, that there's always different ways to achieve your outcome. If you limit yourself to just one way, then that's where you might find yourself getting a little bit stuck. Also, kind of what happened in the past doesn't determine your future. So many people that I coach, say, well, this happened, and what if it happens again? And I don't want to do that because, so they limit themselves, they limit their decision making for the future because of their decision making in the past, particularly if it's been a decision that they have perceived as being the wrong decision. Actually, there aren't any wrong decisions. We make the best choice we can at the time. So it's about also having that mindset that what's happened in the past doesn't determine who you are now or who you are in the future. You can continue to evolve and grow and learn. So decide every single day, who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up as in the world? And how do you want your business to be? How do you want your business to support your life, to support you financially, to support your family? And we're all different. We all want different things. So for me, it was really important with kids that I didn't want to travel the world without them. I didn't want to do things. So, I've waited till my kids are older, and now I want to travel the world. And now I'm like, where can I go? Get me on a plane, get me somewhere. But actually, before that, I didn't want to do that because I had three children. I've still got three children, but they're older. And some people do want to travel, and that's okay. So it's about what is right for you, for your family, for your life. And I coach lots of women who actually want their business to be a part-time business because they want to work it around their family. I coach other people who want really high potential, high achieving, massive income, blah de blah. And all of us are different. So it's about as well knowing that your past doesn't define who you are and where you're going, and deciding for you, not comparing yourself to somebody else, deciding for you what it is that you want in your life and in your business. Remembering that you're always growing and learning. We're not, we don't stay the same. And mind and body are connected. So when you stay calm, when you stay centered, when you trust in yourself, when you trust that the universe always has your back, when you trust that actually there's already a plan mapped out for you, you've just got to keep showing up, to keep being consistent, keep believing in yourself and in your life and in the possibilities that are out there for you. Keep taking the courageous action and keep moving forward, then it all will beautifully fall into place. And yes, you have to keep doing the doing, and yes, you have to keep taking the action, and yes, you have to keep doing the work on yourself to stay centered, to stay calm, to stay grounded, and to make sure that you are optimizing yourself in the best possible way so that you can lead your life, you can lead your business in the way that you want to. So that brings us to the end of this evening. I'm conscious again that it's 50 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. I can't see who is. Oh, it says there's 4 of you watching, and I'm not quite sure. Okay. So it tells me which group you're in. Oh, okay, that's good. I didn't realize that. So you're all in the coaching and leading group. If anybody's got any questions, let me know if you've got any now or later if you watch on replay. So I'll just look on here because I'll be able to see properly. So has anybody got any questions with what I have delivered this evening, or anything you'd like to say? I can't see who else is there. Let me have a look. Okay. Catherine, Sue, Catherine, Maria, and it looked like there was somebody else, but I'm not sure who. So have you got any questions that anybody wants to ask yet? If not, you can. Oh, bless you. Was that you, Maria? I thought it might be. Maria has already done my NLP diploma. She is. Where do you live, Maria? I can't remember. She did it online. Remind me, Maria, when did you do it? You did it a couple of diplomas ago. So I think were you last year? So Maria joined me for the 3-day NLP diploma, which some of you are very welcome to join in June. I'll be telling you more about that. You can join face-to-face here in my training space. Oh, last summer. Oh my God, was it? Blimey. I've probably done 3 since then, Maria. Oh, lovely. I love it. So I do the 3-day full certified NLP diploma, which is either at my training venue in Blackpool, or you can zoom in from wherever you are in the world if you're not local to me. Some people do like to travel and come and have a few days in sunny Blackpool, or it has been sunny today actually. So that is the certified diploma. I'm also going to be telling you about another way that you can work with me over 6 weeks, which is an online NLP experience, where I'm going to be going live doing more of this and teaching you some of the NLP models. I'll be telling you more about that after tomorrow. So if you are already liking what you're hearing, if you are intrigued and curious about NLP, if it has kind of delighted you and got your sort of taste buds going for NLP, then I would love to tell you more about it and share more of my training. Oh, Milton Keynes. Who's in Milton Keynes? Oh, Maria, that's where you are. Oh, I was thinking you were abroad. Why did I think you were abroad? But I've managed to overcome my fears of making a video and just posted on YouTube thanks to your NLP course. Oh, that's a brilliant, Maria. Yes, I love that. I love that. So I am going to be telling you more about it. Feel free, though, if you do want to send me a message and ask me any questions, you can go on my website, sarahfletchercoaching.com, and you can see all the dates for my courses for this year. I am going to be running as well a full online one. I'm going to be telling you more about that tomorrow for the coaching. Those of you who are interested in NLP for coaching, I'm going to do a whole 6-month kind of 100-hour NLP diploma, practitioner, coach certification online for those of you who want to do your NLP training online. My coach at the moment, Ruth Cudsey, who's got Optimus Coaching Academy, has been gently leading me and nudging me towards doing more online so that I can reach more people and share NLP with the world. So a lot of my NLP up until now has been more face-to-face and stuff like this, but I'm going to start taking some of my courses online as well, because I know that there are people out there who would love to learn NLP, and I know that the online world, obviously over the last couple of years, has boomed. So yeah, I'll be telling you more about that as well. So do message me or ask questions if you would like to know the NLP kind of training route, if you want to be certified. Of course, you can contact me as well if you want to have some coaching, if you want to book in and have some one-to-one coaching with me. And I'll also be sharing with you the NLP Experience that is going to be over 6 weeks, which is going to be, I'm going to be launching that next after this and telling you more about it tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hayley is going to come on in a minute, so bear with me. I'm going to switch this off. I'm going to message Hayley and she's going to come and tell you about her NLP journey. So I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is at 3:00. I can't do tomorrow evening because I'm at choir. I lead a choir with somebody. I say I lead a choir. I do the bit in the background. She leads the choir. I provide the space. It's my training venue that we do it at, and I'm in the background collecting money and doing things like that, where she does the singing and the musical bit, and I join in and have lots of fun. So tomorrow night's choir night, so I can't do it. So it is tomorrow. It's at 3:00. I have actually got a meeting at 3:30, so I'm going to do a half an hour tomorrow. I couldn't do earlier because I'm doing a presentation thing, not a presentation. I'm at a network meeting. What do you call it? One of those days where you go and do your stall and things like that. Get me banner up and do my stand. I can't think of the word. So it is only going to be half an hour. However, I will be jumping on Thursday and Friday as well to kind of talk more about what I do and blah, blah, blah. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to bring Hayley on any minute.